All right, so now the essay. Actually, one of my favorite parts about my role in working with students, probably my least favorite part as a student. And so I can speak to both sides. Hopefully you'll find some enjoyment in reading these essays and really helping our students to feel confident, empowered, and proud when they write it. And so in your manual, what you'll see is there are 12 essay tips that I give you. And there's two types of essays. So the first one that we're going to start with is a general essay. So whether a student is applying through the Coalition app or the Common app or the National Application for Black Colleges or the application system for California, they're all going to have these general kind of questions that students will need to answer. So these are usually around 400 to 650 words. And so you'll be able to guide students through this. And so students know how to do both the general and the supplemental essay throughout their curriculum. And I'm just going to teach you how to support them throughout the process. So one of the things that I like to start with before we even get into the tips is some guidelines in supporting students finding their voice. Right? And so the first thing I want to mention is this is their story. The students will tell you that there's something that I say in the curriculum where I say, hey, if you write about your grandma who's amazing and compassionate and taught you all of these things, as a college admissions counselor, they're probably going to want to pick up the phone and call that grandmother to give them opportunity to go to that school. So again, you want to make sure that they are the subject of every single sentence. So even if they want to honor, I know honor is really big in some of our cultures, even if they want to honor someone else, make sure that they're honoring them through the lens of how they grew through that process. And so the first thing I think that's something that we'll always see whenever it comes to writing, unfortunately, like writing and math, right? These English and math teachers just have it out for them, is recognizing writing anxiety, right? So writing anxiety sometimes goes under the radar. And sometimes you might just think that they're stubborn or they're just procrastinating or they're just being a difficult student. But a lot of times there is a lot of anxiety in writing. And if we look at our system, right, we're always system thinking all the time. If students didn't get a strong foundation in writing as a kid, it's not going to come super easy for them. And especially if you're a student, especially if you're like an organization model that's using this program, when students start to see their writing versus others, like outside of their district, that's when they start to realize like, oh, I know I was the smartest kid at my school, but this kid is such a stronger writer than I am. And so then comparison happens, and that's when insecurity seeps in. And so just recognizing, asking them, how comfortable do you feel writing your essay? The next thing that I realized outside of just the ability to write is a lot of my students had a lot of insecurity about bragging about themselves, right? They're like, I don't want to brag about myself. I said, listen, everybody else is. So come on, right? We got to get this done because everybody is talking about how great they are. And I know it doesn't feel good, but you should be proud. Right? And there is a mindfulness prompt on being proud. And so just moving them into this idea of writing about themselves, letting go of writing anxiety, utilizing resources, whether it be an English teacher. So in one of the pages of the manual, one of the ideas that I give is to do like writing workshops. And so one of the pieces of that game plan is to invite English teachers. Hey, would you stay after today for 30 minutes? If students were to come and like do like a rapid round of feedback, right? So getting other people in your community involved, because I know that we can't always be the only answer. The other thing that we want to do is give them permission to tell their story. One thing I love about the essay is this is probably one of the very few times that our students get to write about them. They're writing about Macbeth and everybody else in English class. They're writing about history events and social studies. They're writing about all of these other components in their other courses. And this time, it's the first time that every single word on the paper is about them. So there is a TED Talk that's called The Danger of a Single Story that I used to always have my students watch right before we would get into the essay portion of their essay. And I say that because a lot of times students would want to have a theme that feels like it's so familiar to everyone else. But there's a danger in that. They have their own story. They don't have to feel like they have to be like everyone else. There's power in them realizing that their narrative is unique and it's about them. Even if you get 2,000 essays about a student's experience during COVID, or 2,000 essays of Black students who talked about what it was like to see Ahmaud Arbery chased down, or what it was like to protest for George Floyd. Your narrative, how you looked out of your eyes, is so much different. And so when we look at the essay, one of the things that you'll find on the tips is their topic addressed throughout the entire essay? So one of the pitfalls that you'll find with essay is students want to tell everything. And I'm like, no, one story and go deep in that story. We want to know about you and how that story relates to like who you are now. The students learned the hero's journey, which is a really, really famous writing approach that you'll see in movies, you'll see in books. And the hero's journey can also be used in the college essay and is used frequently for many students across the globe. But the thing that we want students to realize is they don't need a million stories, they just need one, right? And what is the trait or value or lesson that we can get as a reader? I was a reader for a university for a couple of years when I was not in a high school. And so reading college essays, I would always say, what can I learn about the student from this story? Now, if a student is hopping stories, I don't get to learn anything. I just learn surface. I want to be able to say, okay, this story exemplifies this. And how your students learn it is, on the flip side of the curriculum, is they have to write down different character traits or a value or a lesson that they've learned. And then they pick the stories in their life that shows that. And then they have to decide which story has enough depth for them to put in 600 words, right? So again, you're not teaching them this. They already know this. You're just going to follow up. Again, tip number 3, are there too many stories involved? I always say it's always better to have one that you can go deep in, than many you can go surface in. Does it show a clear journey of who they were, right? What was that moment where they changed that we can say, oh, there's growth? Some of our students, especially our students who have the same grades throughout 4 years, right? Sometimes it's hard to see, well, they were pretty consistent, but their essay is an opportunity for them to show growth. And their essay is the one thing at this particular point that they can control. Because at this point, they cannot control their GPA, right? It probably is what it is once it's time to apply. They can't control what other people are going to write in their letter of recommendation, although I do teach them how to invite people who would do really well and give them a form so that way people can be prepared for greatness for writing that particular essay. They can't control their finances, right? They can't control the activities that they've been a part of up until this point because, again, the point is here. It's now, right? They can't go back and do anything. But the essay, that's on them. They can control every single word that's on that page. Again, is it too confidential? This is something that students will hear a little bit about. I have a guest speaker in one of their lessons that talks about how to showcase your story without living out trauma. And realizing, and this is an admissions counselor who did this particular kind of lesson for them. It's pretty brief, but it gives them insight on, we don't need to know the trauma story. You can tell us something different. You don't feel like you have to wear yourself bare for someone that you don't know, and being okay with that. And so even as advisors, I think it's important not to push them to share the most, the story that you feel people will have pity on them, right? Unless that story is a story that they can show growth, that they can write without feeling like they're going deep into any sort of emotion, let's refrain from that, right? Because this process is already heavy. We don't want them to have to feel like they're navigating their own trauma healing throughout writing the essay. They can do that at another time. Again, does it highlight them? Does it have a strong first sentence, right? What is that hook? Does it stimulate the reader's senses? So again, your students already know this. I'm I want to be able to close my eyes and someone read this story out to me and I am living it out. You are slowing down at good moments. You're speeding up moments that don't really matter, but you're making sure I'm not in the dark, right? You're giving me all the details I need. And they know it's better to have more than enough words than it is to have less than that. And it's the same reason as the list, right? It's better to trim than to try to get words out of them, right? And so again, are there descriptive words about them? What can I leave? If I wanted to highlight every single descriptive word or attribute about a student, I should come away from an essay with at least 10. So that's just a rule of thumb. On or in your workbook as well, you'll also have an essay feedback form. So maybe you only get to meet with students about 15 minutes every time you meet with them. But again, it gives you your name, where you're gonna focus on, some positive trends in the essay, trends that don't help the essay, and some action steps. And you go through that either together or they send it to you and you email this form back with the feedback. So it's actionable. The last thing that I wanna talk about when it comes to essays, especially the general one, is a piece of this, right? And so when you think about what can I see inside of a student, and this is something you want to think about. Does the topic or event reveal distinct, identifiable, positive characteristics of this person who's writing? Is it awareness of the broader world? Are they integrating social themes, revealing academic savvy, cultural capital? Is the message compelling? And it's so unique that you know it only fits them. Even if the theme is something that other people have lived out, are you hearing their first person narrative? The next one is the story. Is it enhancing the thing that we want to see, right? So making sure this story is compelling, memorable. It's a key moment of the author, right? And so making sure it has authenticity and it's not cliche. And then again, I teach the students this, making sure there's a clear beginning, middle, and end, right? Making sure there's some consistency. And some students are stronger writers than others, and they can have nuance and they can kind of go back and forth. But for most students, I would just say, let's have a beginning, middle, and end. And that just helps you to track it as well. So that's something that you could do for the general essay. Now for the supplemental essay, I like to say there's two types of questions that you're gonna get with supplemental essays. So these are essays beyond the essay that every school is gonna have asked because they're going through College App or Coalition App and those sorts of things. But this particular essay are gonna be like those extra ones. And the students know how to find them because it's in the lesson. And so the major one that you'll find is why University XYZ. So the formula for this that I can share, and there's some tips on this inside of the manual as well, but the formula is this: me plus the university equals me being able to live out my dreams. Now, is that true? No, right? You're probably gonna live out your dreams either way. But really what you wanna do is kind of schmooze these people to say, without you, you are the missing link. And I need you to be able to carry out what I want to do. So what does that mean? You can't just have a general essay about the student. It has to be the student plus the school. So what does the school have that affirms what the student needs? Is it the mission statement? Are there courses? Is there a professor, a certain major? Is it located in New York City and you want to be a journalist and you want to be in the mix, right? So that is important. And without having that, this dream of what I want won't be able to come true. Again, like I told the students, that's a lie. But again, we want to make it seem like this school has everything that I need in order to succeed. And so that's the why University XYZ kind of lesson that the students get. The other ones I want to help you kind of coach students through are these other ones. And here's some examples of students' essays that I did last year. Why this college, right? Which we kind of talked about already, but why me? Make a letter to your roommate, a future roommate. How will I change the world? And what class would I teach? So those ones are opportunities for our students to have fun. So our really, really, really uptight students, that would have been me, just tell them to breathe. They're actually wanting to see a little bit of personality. Again, the focus is still the school plus them. So while you're writing this essay on the course that you would teach, you're still adding value to who you are. So it's never just oh, I want to teach this and be on the surface level. Everything is about going deep. They're asking these questions because one, they have the time to read all these additional essays, but two, because they really want to figure out what's different about you. You're going to get a lot of supplementals. I think Yale has 10. You're getting all of these supplementals because guess what? Every kid with a 4.0, with 4 AP courses with a 5, and an SAT score of 1,600, all of them are applying to Yale. They need to figure out, okay, how do we know the differences between these students who all look the same? The essay is the opportunity. So remember, for those ones, tell them to, yes, have fun, show their personality. But again, you're always trying to add value to who you are in this writing process. So good luck, utilize the resources in the manual. Make sure students are like watching the content because it's really helpful, going through the activities in their own workbook. And I guarantee you they'll feel confident, empowered, and proud of the words that they submit for their college application.